Now the goal of this equation is to find x, but you'll see that x is trapped inside this absolute value sign. So I'm going to first try and take all the numbers that are not related to the absolute value sign to the other side. So first step is going to be to take positive 10 to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides of the equation. Now this means on the left hand side I can cancel 10 minus 10, and on the right hand side the equation now becomes negative 2 times the abs value of x minus 7 is less than or equal to 8 minus 10, which means negative 2 times the absolute value of x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 2. Now what I want to be able to do next is separate this negative 2 from the abs value, and to do that I would divide both the sides of the equation by negative 2. But since I'm dividing by a negative number, what happens is I need to change the signs. So this less than or equal to sign will flip to give me the greater than or equal to sign. And so if I was to divide both the sides of this equation by negative 2, I will be able to cancel the negative 2 from the numerator and denominator along with a negative sign, but the condition is that the sign flips. So I'm going to rewrite this equation as the abs value of x minus 7 is greater than or equal to negative 2 over 2 is positive 1. Let's write that here so we don't forget, know where that came from. Okay, now we want to get rid of the absolute value sign. So I'm going to make a little note here. When you have the absolute value of x is less than or equal to a number a, this could mean that there's two possibilities. Either x is less than or equal to the positive number a, and x will be greater than or equal to the negative number a. Now you'll see that I wrote the word and in between because x can be greater than a negative number and less than a positive number at the same time. However, if you have the abs value of x is greater than or equal to number a, then the two possibilities that we have are x is either bigger than or equal to the positive part a, or x is less than or equal to the negative part of the number a. Now again, this makes sense because x can only either be greater than a positive number or less than a negative number. It can't happen at the same time. So the easy way to remember this is that I like to think about it like this. I see that when you look at the sign here, and when you look at the taking, so it has to split into two equations, one with the positive number and one with the negative number. So when you take the positive part of the number, the sign remains the same. Whereas if you were to take the negative part of the number, then the sign flips. You'll see that this is consistent on the if the abs value of x is greater than or equal to x2. If you're looking at the negative part, then what happens is the sign flips. And if you're looking at the positive a, in that case the sign remains the same. So in this case, since I have greater than or equal to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this part of the note that I've written. So I either have x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 1, the positive part, or x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 1, the negative part. Now these are simple linear inequalities. To solve them, I'm going to add 7 to both the sides of the equation. That's exactly what I'm going to need to do on this side. So what do I get? I get x is greater than or equal to 1 plus 7, that is x is greater than or equal to 8, or x is less than or equal to negative 1 plus 7, that is x is less than or equal to 6. Now if you draw the number line, this is easy to see that you have 6 here and you have 8 here, and you're claiming that either you're allowed to accept solutions that are greater than 8 and equal to 8, so I include 8, or you're accepting solutions that are less than 6 and including 6, less than or equal to. So you can see that x can either be here or be here. You can't have x be in both places at once. And so in order to write the solution set, since I have two different intervals, I'm going to write everything from negative infinity, because that's what you have here if you keep going, negative infinity, with an open bracket, of course, since it's not included. 6 all the way up to 6, and 6 is included. Union 8, including 8, all the way up to infinity, because that's what happens if you keep going. You get infinity, and open parenthesis because we don't include infinity. That's the solution to the equation.